Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Today we are going to be checking out a Patreon Picks, and this one comes to us from a Patreon named OC. And they are asking for specifically to check out Alive Again Live by the Neal Morse Band. Crazy instrumental swapping sections, very complex and jamming, and they all sing very well. So I'm excited about this. One of the things that I really love in kind of live playing is instrument swapping. I think there's just something really special to it when I think most people you think of as good at their instrument. Um, you know, when you think of Yngwie Malmsteen, you think of a guitarist. You don't really think of his drumming skills or saxophone skills. He's a guitarist. The same thing can, be said for, Tosin Abasi. Just virtuoso guitarist, and, that's just kind of his deal. And I think it's very rare to see people in bands showcase their other skills. And I'm not saying that Yngwie or Tosin or anybody who's kind of associated with a single instrument can't play others. Anybody who plays music, plays an instrument, has musical curiosity. They will try other instruments, and they will have an affinity towards some more than others. I've mentioned before, I cannot play a reeded instrument. I have tried several times in my life. I can do percussion, I can do drumming, I can do a kit, I can play keys, whether that's like xylophones or pianos. I can play guitars and pretty much every brass instrument. I can play a flute, but I can't play anything with a reed. And if it has a double reed, get out of here. Seriously, not touching those. Um, but yeah, got off topic there. Everybody has an affinity to try out more instruments. They have to know, can I play this? I want to play it, or even just so much as I love the way this sounds. I need to learn how to do it. Um, but you just don't get to see that showcase in a live setting very often. So to hear that these guys are going to go about swapping their instruments throughout this entire set, that excites me. Like I said, you just don't get to see that very often. Whether it's rock or jazz or classical or anything. Very rarely do people switch off of their primary instrument. So, yeah. Also, I checked out the runtime when I was queuing this video up. It's 35 minutes. So go ahead and pause the video, grab a nice cold one, a cold bottle of water. Hydro homies up in here, we don't drink anything other than water. You guys see me do it all the time. This is my water bottle. I got water in here. Grab a nice cold one, and maybe a sandwich or a bag of chips or something. Kick back and relax. We're in for a long one. All right, let's go. Oh, and I read in the description real quick that the drummer is Mike Portnoy. I'm sure that's going to interest quite a few people. Should have put that one a little earlier.
This is called Alive Again.
Very ethereal. I'm really loving this. Now this is in 6/8, but if I were to conduct this, I would conduct it in 2 easily. It has a really strong 2 feel to it. Nice little shift there. Yeah, we switched to 4/4, but it still has a 2 pulse, so it feels like nothing happens. That was genius. Tiny tempo shift right there. A little bit of a retardando. Another one. Yeah, that whole intro was just gorgeous. Now the way that this phrasing is broken up reminds me heavily of Dream Theater. Yeah, really weird accents in the drum that's really chopping these sections up.
You call me forth amid the waves and wayward waters. That kind of trust I've rarely found. I always wind up sinking down. Was I really dead and at the bottom of the ocean? Stay the course, I heard you say, but all I saw was the long way down. Now I feel like I'm alive again. Stretch my arms upon the open wind. Yeah, I feel like I'm alive again. Crashing waves like breath upon
A nice syncopation in the bass being reflected in the drums. Nice synergy going on there.
The man whose heart was like the sea was gone and he would never be found. But now I feel like I'm alive again. Spread my arms upon the open wind. Yeah, I feel like I'm alive again. Never looking back to where I've been. Now I can see the light burning in my soul. I can see the light. I know that I must go.
Very interesting. They really have no problem messing with time, and they have this love for ritardandos. They just really love to drag out these sections. Yeah, I was like, where's that raise? Yep. We needed that raise to resolve properly, and I was waiting for it. I was really hoping to see someone really playing a flute. Yeah. When you got that funky of a sounds,
The king of surprise and the boredom queen went out to dine at the bottom line, drinking blood red wine. The jack of all trades and the master of none went out to get back at most everyone. It's not
you know, this actually has a very poppy sound to it. And if it wasn't for the timbres of the instruments, this would actually be a really strong pop section. Who's hitting those upper harmonies? That fill. I love how these guys just look like they're having so much fun. That's what it's all about. You know, I'm kind of laughing at the way that their body is like getting into the music, but I'm only laughing because I've been there. I've done these same things. I get it. These guys are having so much fun, and I am loving it. Oh man. I love the way that orchestral segment is kind of accentuating some of the ideas in the guitars. Oh, I love the way that these two sounds are mixing. Coloring outside the lines. That was a harsh jump. Oh wait, no. Did we get rewinded? I don't know. We did. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, we'll just listen to this part again because it was pretty rad. I'm not sure what happened there. Still love the way that sounds. Those two voices just coming together is music. Dude, that is some dirty. I'm here for this. Bring it on. Wow. This dude can just tear it up no matter what he touches.
Now wait a second. We kind of left El Rando out. What do you want to play, Randy? Pick an instrument.
Right.
But wait, there's more. Sir Randy George is about to attempt a solo on the bass pedals.
You don't get more prog than that.
I was just gonna say that.
Beats you to it. Great minds think alike.
Man, is there anybody in here who doesn't have an angelic voice? They're bringing this riff back from the beginning, right? I'm not super keen on that resolution, but the tension leading into it is so good. Yeah, that's a weird resolution, but the seventh and eighth chords in this progression are so good. that riff back again. That lick is just prevalent through this whole track. Yeah, I get this driving force back up. Let's head into the finale now. Going for the real big energy finish. We've effectively cut the tempo a little bit to make it feel bigger. Another ritardando. Maybe that was just a small tempo change. Yeah, because we're holding this. There is a little ritardando though. I really figured that was the ending. I mean, that's... Still got something left he needs to say, though. Wait! This is the same as the opening, isn't it? I'm fairly certain. I love how this has come full circle. That was pretty clever. Bouncing the stick off the cymbal like that.
Thank you so much. We knew you were going to be great, and you were. Thank you all.
We knew you were going to be great. Says the guy that just defined greatness. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's anything I could add to that performance. Um, I will say that I greatly enjoyed their jam elements more than their compositional side, their strict compositional side. The middle section, the big jammy middle section that took up like 15 minutes, that was a lot more my speed than the, I don't want to say generic, but very Dream Theatery prog rock that took up the rest of the song. That isn't to say it was bad. I mean, it was still some phenomenal writing, and I really have to give them props for mostly using 8-bar chord progressions. We really don't see that very often, at least not in modern music. 4-bar really took over when rock started getting really big. Um, 60s, 70s, even a lot of the prog rock that we listen, the classic prog that we listened to a couple weeks ago, checking out some of the stuff from the 70s and early 80s, maybe, was still looking at 4-bar chord progressions. Um, it just is a thing that modern music has sort of adhered to, and there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely, if there's something wrong with it, people wouldn't use it. It is popular and commonly used for a reason. Um, but it's just really cool to listen to a full song that barely ever uses it. I mean, we have at least a good 15 minutes of structured writing in here, and 90% of it was an 8-bar chord progression. So it's just really cool to hear that, because it's with the 4-bar, we listen to it so much that we're just used to this. The fifth bar is going to be a resolution, and we're going to start the cycle of tension again in the same direction. But when the fifth bar ends up not resolving back to home where you expect it to, that just kind of pulls the rug out from under you. And I've said this before, I love, novelty. You know, it's not going to pull the rug out from under me the fifth time I listen to the song. I know it's coming. But on the first time, I just really love having those expectations subverted. Even more so when that fifth bar does resolve back home, but the sixth bar doesn't do what the second bar did. And once again, it's just, I can't ever really catch my bearings. I have to be like, oh yeah, they're doing this again. Um, and another thing is that I really love the way that they pull tension on the seventh and eighth bars compared to the third and fourth. They just they produce tension by using completely different relationships between chords, so that both the first 4 bars and the second 4 bars have completely different characteristics to them, and they're just different quality progressions, even though they are mostly all resolving to the same place. It's cyclical, but there's like nuance to the cycles, and I like that. It still gives it this strong feeling of direction and kind of home, like you know where everything's going, but they're two very different things, and it basically just provides a little bit of um, difference. It's a long song. It's very very easy for a 30. I'm gonna say it's 30 minutes. I think we had a 5-minute loop in the middle somewhere. I don't know if my video looped or if the actual video uploaded to YouTube had that error in it. I think it was the actual YouTube video though. I think it's actually like a 30-minute song, 28 to 30 minutes rather than the 35 that we actually watched. But either way, we got a 30 plus minute song. It's very easy for this to become repetitious. And having that, similar but not idea going through the chord progressions makes sure that, or it kind of ensures that the chord progression itself doesn't feel samey for an entire 7-minute section. Some of these things can be, and it just provides a little bit of nuance and change up to the changes up the formula just a little bit every 4 bars, so that it always feels like something's changing. There's always something moving a little differently, and it helps the song from becoming stale, basically. It's a very smart decision to do. I think they could have pulled this off with a 4 bar phrase and still held the attention for the full 30 minutes, but it's just a really smart decision to go with 8 and then making them similar but not, where it's still chopped up. You still have a 4 bar loop. You can hear between the 4 and 5 just as if it was between a 4 and 1. But then 5 through 8 is its own idea. So we still have these smaller 4 bar phrases to make it feel familiar, but we have these two different 4 bar phrases that are similar enough to create a core identity, but different enough to create change and stop from feeling stale. So yeah, that's just a really smart decision to do that, and I'm glad they did, because like I said, you just don't really hear that very often. So that's probably the part that I love most about their written content. Yeah, the heavily written out, followed music. But honestly, the jam part is my jam. Um, but yeah, it to me, this is the closest that I think we've come to seeing a rock band do jazz. Now, we've had some jammy sections before. I've said, this reminds me of a jazz section. Um, we did something on Prague Week that was, oh, no. It was Brinsley Swartz. I can't pronounce that last name. Um, like the outro to that song, I said was very jammy and reminded me of more of like a jazz session. This right here, if it weren't for the distortion on the guitars and maybe some of the chord progression changes, because there was a lot of blues influence. Well, yeah, blues is jazz though, but usually blues isn't played at this tempo. I think that's the big change right there. Anyways, though, this is distinctly rock. Even if it's kind of hard to pinpoint why this is rock and not jazz, this is distinctly rock. I would not come into this and say, "Hey, this is a jazz concert." It's just not there. The timbres are different. The energy's different. Now you can have high energy jazz, like bebop's high energy jazz. Okay, I'm getting way off topic. This is obviously rock. I'm not going to be able to define why it's rock off the top of my head in the next 5 minutes, but this is definitely rock. No one would come in here and mistake this for jazz. But the thing is that there were quite a few sections in here that to me, my brain switched into jazz mode. Like I heard jazz. I was listening to jazz. My brain was in listening to jazz mode at those sections. And it happened frequently in the jam session area. And yeah, I think, like I said, I think this is the closest, at least on this channel, that I've heard, rock music that's kind of real close to being jazz. Outside of, like I said, the timbre. There's a lot of heavy distortion in the guitars, and we have the organ sound. I don't know if they're synthesizers with organ sounds or if these are actual like electronic organs. I don't know. That is not my expertise. And every time I even say anything about it, you guys hit me up in the comments and let me know how wrong I am when I'm talking about this stuff. These prog rock organ sounds, I'm wrong every time on them. But yeah, we have that sound rather than a full piano or maybe a traditional piano sample in a keyboard. So there's some timbre changes, and the drumming is obviously more rock style than jazz. We don't have the swing eights, but there's still so many sections when my brain just switched into, jazz mode. And I love that. I jazz gets a bad rep. It really does. I don't know why, other than I don't know why. I really don't. I mean, smooth jazz, radio jazz kind of hurts its image, I think. I don't want to say true jazz. I don't want to be, a gatekeeper to what is or is not jazz. Um, but just the free form, jamming with friends, swapping instruments, everybody having a good time, playing around. They're seriously playing without being serious. Like they're not making a joke out of their performance, but they're having fun. Like when the keyboardist in the back switched over from his organ tone to like I think it was an orchestra or string tone, and then the drummer starts moving his drums like he's conducting. I mean, just little things like that. The way that they get into it and they smile, they lock eyes, they smile at each other when they do something cool, a little fill or something. It's those little moments that make it feel more like jazz to me. It's more intimate. Um, I've been to a couple rock concerts in my life, and it. I don't know how this is with everything, but in my experience, it feels more scripted, not necessarily insincere, but maybe a little bit like by the motions. You know, when it comes to the duet time, they go back to back to do their duet. But there's no little like winks or nods or smiling because of what the other guy soloed. He threw a little lick in that you guys have been it's a in joke that you have. They play that lick every time they warm up or something, and so they threw it into a solo, and you're like, hey, I got that joke. You don't really see that so much, at least in the bands that I've seen live. Now, admittedly, I have not seen any bands that jam. I've never seen anything in any bands that would be classified as prog rock or jammy, anything like this, or anything that really has inspiration from jazz. I would say so. Maybe that's a part of it, but to me, it's just so genuine to see these people having fun on the stage. It's not just another concert for them. It is a performance. It is another performance. It might be the 10th one they've done, but they just love performing with each other. They look forward to these. And that's how I feel about music. And when I play, I want to express that. I'm not here because it's a gig, or I'm not here because it's what I need to do to get money or to get famous or to climb the record label ladder or anything like that. I'm playing because I genuinely enjoy the music, I genuinely enjoy who I'm playing with, and I just love being in that moment and experiencing the music. And I get that so much from these guys, and I don't necessarily get it from every band that I've seen perform. Not necessarily in rock and metal. I've been to jazz performances, and it's I think it's just a part of that culture to just love what you're doing and to physically show that you love what you're doing. Um, Sometimes I think rock and metal takes itself too seriously, and I think maybe that comes across in the performance. I don't know, but just seeing these guys loving life, loving the performance, loving what they're doing, loving the rest of their bandmates, and just you know having fun. It's a technical, difficult song. There's some seriousness to it. There's some serious chops. There's some serious sections, but they're having fun being serious. They're having fun in these sections, and honestly, like I said, I just don't see that enough in rock and metal. And it's so refreshing to see it with these guys. So, yep, that's. I think we're gonna end on that note. We're about to hit an hour long on this video, and it's late as it is, and it still needs to process, upload. No, encode, upload, and process. So, geez, it's 5:30 already. This thing probably only be going up till about 8 o'clock. Um, Yeah, let's close this out. I really enjoyed this. I loved almost every bit of it. My cheeks hurt from smiling so much. There's just it. This song makes me happy, even if I didn't enjoy every single moment of it. Just the fact that they were having fun made me have fun. And I mean, that's what music's all about, seriously, at the end of the day. So that was, I was going to say Neil Peart. What is this guy's name? Neil, Neal Morse. Alive Again with, let's see, Portnoy and Randy George, Eric Gillette, and Bill Hubauer. Dang, that last name is throwing me for a loop. Yeah, so fantastic performance, fantastic musicians, really great group, great chemistry. But you guys got to let me know what you thought. Have you heard this before? Haven't you heard it before? Is this getting thrown into some sort of playlist or maybe even just a folder for bands to chill to? Maybe you're not going to listen to it every day, but you want to have it in your back pocket when you need it. Let me know what's up. And while you're down there in the comments, you can like, subscribe, and ring the bell. All three of those things help out the channel immensely. You can check out my Twitter or my Patreon. Those links are in the description. If you would like to get in line for Patreon picks, that's how. Head on over to my Patreon and sign up, and you'll get tossed into the list to do this right here. You pick any song, and I'll check it out, even if it's 35 minutes and mostly jamming out. OC, thanks a ton for this request. I really enjoyed this. Good pick. I mean, pretty much every pick for this Patreon picks has been good. There's been some that have not been great, uh, but I've enjoyed seeing what all of you really, enjoy. And like I've said before, a lot of this stuff, they're bands or songs that have not been requested before or underrepresented in my requests. So it's really cool to get to this stuff that just probably would not have gotten to with the standard formula of going through the comments and checking out what you guys want me to check out based by votes and stuff like that. So I will be back tomorrow. Two more videos, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC, so we can get caught up on this non-English vocal stuff. And yeah, until then, you guys stay safe out there and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.